Friends, in this video for iThought Wealth, I'm going to talk to you on the topic valuing growth. Most of us expect our companies to grow and give us the benefits of growth. When you look at a choice of a company for your portfolio, the first thing that we look for is growth. Clearly, the markets believe that growth has to be the most important thing while making an investment decision. As we know, there are several companies which have grown consistently for long periods of time. Growth rates in the region of 12 to 25% is something which companies have been able to give. And even within that broad range of 12 to 25%, there are companies which have consistently grown closer to the upper end of that range. Naturally, the reliability of such companies which are able to consistently perform better, to grow their business consistently, is higher. The markets know this only too well. But when growth becomes scarce in a market where most of the companies are not growing and only a small number of companies are growing, the options become limited. When our options become limited, we start looking closer and closer at the companies which are still growing despite all the economic challenges. It's like the last man standing effect. So, the companies which continue to grow in the toughest of times become an obvious choice for most of the market participants. In an era of social media, this becomes all the more stark. In every market cycle, the businesses which are going to be providing growth always tend to get the highest valuation. This is not new to this cycle. The sectors change, the companies change, but the characteristics remain the same. Growth tends to get recognized, rewarded, and invested into very aggressively as markets rise. Ironically, when the markets are very weak, when the markets have crashed or markets are at the lower end of their valuation range, you find that the same companies which provide growth that is predictable and reliable trade at very attractive valuations. So, sentiment certainly changes how we value growth. The important point for us to understand is that if you pay liberally for growth, then the growth will not pay you liberally. But of late, we have seen a lot of sales talk that growth is scarce. There are only this many companies that can grow, and therefore, whatever price you pay for those companies simply has to be done. You have no choice. My belief is that every market cycle gives us ample choice. At the end of a bull market, the choices suddenly start increasing. As you near the end of a bull market, the choices are very narrow. So, right around the peak point of a bull market, as you head into it and as you head out of it, you face two diametrically opposite situations. One situation where the choices are limited and another situation where the choices are ample, plenty. As an investor, it's very important to know how you should value growth in both these situations. If you are judicious in a situation where growth is scarce, then you can be generous in a situation where valuations are soft. So, the same companies trade at an expensive valuation as market head towards the top and trade at an attractive valuation when markets come off at top. Effectively, how we value growth depends upon where we are in the market cycle. This is true of every market cycle. You look at January of 2018. If we take a base number of 100 for IT funds, the sectoral index or the ETF of tech companies, that was a time when it was trading soft. From then to now, these companies, the entire index has moved by 2.79 times. Now that's the kind of swing we see in how we value growth. If you look at the growth, it's moved from high single digit then to mid-teens now, right? That's the kind of change that you're seeing in the growth. But the valuation has simply exploded. So now people see less opportunities for growth because the valuations are very high and they are more than willing to pay more for growth. So this is typical of market cycles. This is typical of every cycle. This explains why the same FMCG companies trade at such a wide range between the time when the markets are about to top and the times when the markets have corrected. And this could be only 1 year apart. The valuations are miles apart. So as an investor, you should know how to value growth. If you are judicious in valuing growth, the returns from your decisions will be generous. It's important that you remember this while valuing growth and not pay any price for growth. You should buy growth, but you should pay a price for growth that will reward you adequately. So that in essence is what you need to understand about valuing growth. You not only need to understand this, you must remember this every time you come across a company, and you have to make up your mind whether you're paying the right amount for the growth that that company can offer. Without growth, there would be no investing. Growth is the most important driver in investing. But remember one thing, you should know that valuing growth should be done correctly and you should not overvalue growth. Thank you for watching this video. We look forward to having you on our channel for our subsequent programs. Do stay the course with us. Thank you.